Marcy, how we doing?
Awesome. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing very, very well. Thank you for being on. What's your question?
So I had left a message. We are in the middle of closing on we haven't bought a property for a while. So we jumped through all the hoops that we had to as far as the down payment and the closing costs. And now they're saying because the last 2 months of our income has been kind of slow, even though we have a two tax return, 2 years that they required of tax returns, that said we made over $100,000. They're now getting the last 2 months.
Yeah.
So my question is, now we're like on hold. We were supposed to be closing today, and now we're, scrambling to try to, I guess, get letters from my husband's manager and that type of thing. What do you suggest?
Great question. Well, Marcy, thanks for being on. Listen, banks have really been buckling down. And so I'm going through a really complicated loan myself right now, and they're scrutinizing everything. And not all banks are doing that. Some banks are doing that. So you have a couple of options. One is work with the existing bank since you're close to the closing table and listen carefully to what they're looking for, and then try to figure out how to give them that if you can provide it. But the other option is you might have to switch and actually try to do your loan with a different bank that's not going to scrutinize you the same way. Because a typical bank is really only going to look at your last 2 years, and then they're going to move forward and they're going to qualify you based on that. And so it literally might be more of just a problem with the bank. Most people think you need a lot of money to get in the game of real estate. But the truth is, if you have as little as $3,000, you can turn that into a lot more money by investing in my public real estate Kronos fund. Click the link below, get in the game of real estate totally hands-free, but making those great ROIs by putting a little bit in to get a lot out.
So the other thing is that because my husband's working for the builder, I think we're going to have about $12,000 worth of equity when we first get into the house.
Yeah.
Once everything's said and done, unless they were helping us with buying down the points and they were helping us with the closing costs and everything. If we go to another lender, I don't know if that's going to happen because of all the benefits they were giving us.
Well, at the end of the day, if you fall out of contract, they're going to have to start over with someone anyway. And so they might as well start over with you if they have a rapport with you. You would want to just help them understand what happened with this particular bank and why that thing happened. Are you working with a specific bank, or are you working with a loan officer that brokers to many banks?
So D.R. Horton is one of the largest builders in the United States. They have their own mortgage company, and they try to get you to go with them because they give you the closing costs and all that. So, they're saying that they're not denying the loan. They're just waiting for these letters.
Yeah.
We do have a date as of the 30th, but like everybody's on vacation right now, so
I got you.
I get to wait. But my other question is, you always talk about, taking money out as soon as you can to buy your next property. Being that we'll have about $12,000 in equity, I guess we probably can't do anything because of these couple slow months, right?
Well, banks actually need to see, when you do a home equity line of credit, they want to see that you keep at least 10% equity in the house anyway. So if it's a $300,000 house, the first $30,000 of equity doesn't matter. It's everything beyond that. I would look at the first 10%. So for example, what are you buying the house for?
$357,000, I think it is.
Yeah. So the first $35,000, $36,000 of equity, they're going to say, we as the bank want to see you keep that so that if worse comes to worse and the house comes back, we can put it on the market. We've got a little bit of margin. Some banks will even require 80%. So they would need to see $72,000. So the equity is really going to become meaningful once you drop below that $35,000 mark.
Okay. All right. Because I guess I was hearing something different from you. I thought if you had an extra 10 in there, you could go ahead and get your next property. But I guess I misunderstood that.
No worries. Glad we're getting it cleared up though, Marcy.
Okay. So what are your suggestions on anything else that might help us move forward?
Yeah.
I think you do a lot of your own videos, and I'm starting to do, posting every day for my business. I've tried a lot of different companies for advertising and all that, but I guess it's just consistency of getting on there. Is that correct?
It is. It's consistency. It's how can the algorithm, it's letting them know that you are consistently producing and putting content out there. As far as the real estate goes, listen, they haven't denied the loan. Just look at the 2 letters, get them what they need. They'll probably extend it. You're probably going to be okay. But if you had to start all over, just know that when you go with a mortgage officer that brokers to different banks, things like what you're experiencing are far less likely to happen because they pursue multiple banks instead of just one.
Right. It's just going to take longer at this point, right? Another 3 weeks.
Yeah. Or 4. Yeah.
Yeah. Another month. Yeah. I mean, everything was going great. I mean, it was just this last minute thing, of course, underwriting, and then I heard something about that they really cannot deny you. I don't know if you know about the birth certificate and the, and that whole thing, how you're you have this birth certificate that's worth a lot being traded on the stock market?
No, I'm not familiar with that. No.
All right. Well, that's what I had heard, that they really can't turn you down because you do have this trade that they're trading you as when they issue that birth certificate, you're a commodity for the United States.
Not sure on that one, but Marcy, I appreciate you calling in and thank you for the question today.
All right. Have a great day.
You be well. Thank you.
Thank you.